You're live.
I was going to say, it looks very soft.
Hey, everyone. We will give everyone a few minutes to join. And then once people join, I can kind of tell you the purpose of this video and everything. So let us know that you are here in the comments. And, oh, hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah.
She's like 20.
I know.
22 maybe. Hey guys, welcome. I'll give everyone a few minutes here to join. Hello, hi guys. Hello. I miss you too, Jessica. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The reason I'm doing this video is I have had a ton of support coming in. And I want to go live, obviously, on YouTube and Facebook. But the one thing I'm trying to avoid is people not understand what's going on or why is everyone saying sorry or why is everyone reaching out to you. So I was planning on doing a Chalk Couture catalog reveal. As you guys know, we just got back from Chalk Couture convention. But I told Sean before I did that, I just really needed to talk to my crew of what happens because I'm very transparent with you guys. And so everyone has a story because I think people have been afraid to ask what happened because they don't want to upset us, which I'm very fortunate of. So there's no leaks in the videos. I'm sorry. I just wanted to go live on our computer. So it's just going to be us talking. Please feel free to ask any questions or anything. I don't know if I'll keep this video up because I wasn't sure I was going to do this. But I talked it over with my friend and Jessica. You guys see her. If you guys don't know Jessica, who I spent convention with some other wonderful ladies, her name on here is the Craftin' and Stampin'. So if you haven't subscribed to her YouTube channel, go check her out because she was a big help. So let's, with that said, go right into it. So as you guys know, so first of all, just explain that this video will be hard. It will be very emotional. So I apologize in advance. But I really want you guys to know so you knew exactly what happened and you're okay and you don't have to ask or be afraid to ask questions and stuff because I truly do believe we've exposed you guys to all aspects of our life. And so I really want you guys to know what happened and stuff because you guys have all been so good. So convention was last week. We left on Tuesday, Tuesday late evening. We had called someone that had watched our dogs before. And on that morning before we had left, I had woken up and Maya had puked in her pen, which was kind of weird, but we knew that, okay, something wasn't right. And so I at that moment, I thought maybe I should stay home because that had me concerned. And she wasn't really active, but that was kind of Maya. She had gained weight and she was staying downstairs a lot and she was still very kind to see us or excited to see us. But something was different this Tuesday. She wouldn't eat. She didn't eat any of her food. I let her outside and she just laid on the grass and didn't do much. But I told Sean, maybe I won't go to convention. Maybe I'll stay. And he said, no, this is our business. We need to go. It's big. You've been excited. Everyone's there. And sorry if I'm not reading the comments. John's trying to read the comments, but I don't. Are those brights too light, or can you read the comments? Or
I can. I kind of read them.
Okay,
so we're okay.
Oh, maybe I can pop it out. Pop out chat. There you go. So if you guys do have stuff that you want Sean to know or something, just let us know in the comments. All right. We have the comments up, so it's a little bit bigger. So anyways, I called Jasmine. I said, here's what's going on. And the vet said, can you bring her in? And so we took her in on Tuesday night. Did she basically get her in Tuesday?
We left.
Oh, she had called Wednesday and said she's not
doing well.
She's not eating. I'm really worried. She went into the vet. The vet told her to go to emergency vet. And long story short, we found out she had some sort of cancer in her spleen.
It ended up a normal vet visit to a point that to keep an eye on her, we would send her over to the ER because our Jasmine couldn't watch her at home. she wasn't drinking, but she needed fluids. They did blood work, and her platelets were very low, which was very concerning. They sent her over there to be observed. They too didn't even have platelets or blood to give to her, so which was unfortunate. And they looked at that, so they went ahead and looked at her. And the next morning, they were going to do an ultrasound, which they did do. It took a while, and we finally got results saying that they found masses around her spleen. It was hard to tell of whether or not that was inside the spleen, which is, of course, the spleen holds a lot of blood inside. That's why there was something going on with her. They also think there was, they were afraid she was bleeding internally, but she was not. They said that's definitely not the case. But she had some fluid in her abdomen. People who have bad livers and stuff have that happen even in humans. It does the same thing. And then they went ahead and did what they could do, watched her. She didn't do much, didn't eat, didn't drink. And then then they said, they told us all the results, and they gave us the options: surgery, chemo, maybe up to 8 months.
Yeah. So
just chemo.
So long story short is we had to make a decision of, do we let her, 2 weeks, if we did nothing, she would have 2 weeks to live. If we ended up coming home, we could possibly take the spleen out, and that would give her maybe 8 months. And then if we took the spleen out and chemo, it would give her longer. And so Sean and I just basically said, well, we made the decision that ultimately, this was on Friday. We said, you know what? We're not going to do anything. And the plan was that we would come home and we would have 2 weeks with her and give her her favorite things and take her to parks and just basically let her live her life out. And Friday, we had an awards night. It was a beautiful awards night. And I got back, and Jasmine, for those of you guys don't know, we had a house sitter named Jasmine. And she called me and said, she doesn't look good. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm overreacting. And I said, okay, let me call you back. And so she basically said, she's not eating. There's a few times I thought she was dead. And so I said, I kept telling Sean, I just want to get there. I just want to get home Sunday and see her one last time. So whatever we need to do, I'm willing to pay anything. And we kept putting stuff on our care credit saying anything we need to do to keep her alive until I can say goodbye to her. And Jasmine is just like, she's not looking good, Kenny. And so we did a FaceTime, and so I could see her, and she wasn't really herself. And then we started talking to her and basically said, we love you and you look great. And Jasmine goes, she hasn't done that. She lifted her head. She looked at the camera, and I'm assuming she saw us, and she started whimpering and her tail started wagging. And she says, Kenny, she has not done that. Like, she knows it's you. And Sean and I every night before we would go to bed, we'd always ask her, who's our pretty girl? We'd say, who's our pretty girl? And she would get excited and start wagging her tail. And so we started saying that, who's our pretty girl? Who's our baby girl? And you start calling her pretty girl, and you could tell she could hear us. And she started wagging her head and her tail, and Jasmine's like, she definitely knows it's you. And I just said, if you need to go, then go. My concern at that point is Jasmine was destroyed. She was bawling with us. She says, this is awful. She's in pain, I think. And I said, if you need to go, you just go. You don't need to wait for us. Thank God for FaceTime. Thank God for Apple FaceTime, because I was able to see her and everything. So then Jasmine, basically, I said, let me figure some stuff out. We talked to her for a good 20-minute, half hour. Yeah. And we just kept saying her name over and over again and telling her she was a pretty girl and we loved her. And just, if you're in pain, go. So I called my best friend, Allison, you guys know that, and my sister-in-law, and said, I'm thinking it's end stage, but Jasmine's never been through this. Can you go check them? We got a call, FaceTime. And both my sister and my best friend said, you know what? We think she's just really high. They gave her basically fentanyl, all these drugs in the pharmacist, and we think she's just zoned out. And I said, can I see her again? And the doorbell rang and they went upstairs. You know, her little head perked up and I was like, well, maybe that's what it is. And they said, we're just going to, you know, I think she's just really high. She needs to sleep it off. She's definitely something's wrong with her, but she's fine. So I ended that call. My spirits were raised because I was like, oh, it's, you know, we think she's just really high and everything. So I went across the room because some people on my team were across there and we had actually a really good time. I wasn't stressed. I'm like, I think she's just high. And we got a call at about 2:00 in the morning. And so we took the call. It was Allison, and she had stayed with her that entire time. So it would have been 1:00 our time. And she had said, Kenny, I don't know what happened, but she's taken a turn for the worse and it's went down really bad. She's just sitting here. Every time we touch her, she whimpers. Every time we look at her, and I'm just someone that I need to see her. And so Ali called me, and from the time we saw her to the first time to this time, she wasn't moving. She didn't respond to her voice. And I kept telling myself, I just need to see her one last time. I need to be with her. I need to hold her one last time and give her a pet. And then they put the mic to her voice and you could hear her whimpering and she wasn't breathing very good. And I said, what would you do? And both my sister-in-law and best friend Allison said, if it was us, we would take her. And they at that point called the vet. The vet said, here, what are these symptoms? And the vet said she's in final stages. And my sister-in-law says, I really think that when she was waiting to hear, she was waiting to hear your voice and know it was okay to go. Because up to that point, I kept telling everyone, if she can just make it till Sunday and I can say goodbye and we can be there. I didn't want to be alone. And my sister-in-law and Allison said, we will go sit with her. We will be with her. I kind of skipped ahead, but in between this time, and I don't know if I have my phone, but in between this time, Ali had picked her up from the vet's office, the emergency vet, before all this went down. And she looked great. It's my profile picture on my Facebook page right now. She looked great. She says she definitely loves me because she's here, tails wagging. She drank a whole bunch of water. She ate some chicken. This was Friday day. She is herself. Like she's herself. It's almost like she got the second wind. And she says, I think she's going to be fine. We just need to get you home. So she looked great. She sent me a video. I really thought I brought my phone down, but I guess I didn't. I would show you the video. She was sitting there and she basically, oh, it's upstairs. She had basically sent me a video and said, Allie said, here's your baby girl. And she says, hi, daddies. I'm fine. I'm at the vet's. And she was all looking around and her tail was wagging and everything was great. So we honestly thought we have until Sunday. So when I asked for everyone's prayers, it felt like they came true. So anyways, Ali was on the phone with me and she says, from the time I picked her up to the vet till now, it's complete difference. Like it's gone quick. And Jasmine was there and Jasmine said, Kenny, as soon as she heard you and Sean and heard the baby girl and heard everything, she started letting go. Like she goes, it's plain as day. She heard you. So I said, what would you do? And both Ali and my sister-in-law said, if it was me, I would take her and she's in pain. She's definitely something's wrong with her. And my commitment has always been, I will have dogs and love them and do everything and spend as much money to keep them alive until they are in pain. But they put her in the car, which took a while because she was on a bed. She wouldn't move. And she's a heavier dog because she was a little bit chunky and they had to carry her up the stairs. And this is at like 1:30. And so it was the longest wait between that call and the call that I knew would come from the vets. And during that time, across the hall was Jessica, who that night, you guys, she had won an award, the top award at Chocator you could win. She won. It's called the Illuminary Award. It was a big deal. She got a beautiful award and she got money and it was awesome. And she dropped everything and came over and sat with me and listened to me. And I said, I don't know if she knew it was us. And she said all the right things. She goes, Kenny, she knew that was you. She heard your voice. She heard this. She's in pain. And she just sat with me and held me while I cried. And I just felt like I wanted to be there so bad. I wanted to be with her so bad to say goodbye to her. And so I get a call, and it's my Allie, and she goes, "We're at the vet's office." They put the vet on. The vet said, "It's time. She's not responding. It's time to let her go. Do we have your permission?" We said, "Absolutely." And then I said, "I would like to see her one last time." And Allie got on the phone, and Allie knows me so well, and she says, You don't want to see her." And I said, "No, I do. I want to say goodbye to her, and I really need this for closure." And she goes, "Kenny, I really feel like you don't need to see her." Jessica was there, and Jessica's like, "Kenny, I think you should listen to her. You guys know me. I was stubborn." And I said, "I want to see her." And you could see the camera go, and it turned over to her, and she was already pretty much gone. Her tongue was hanging out. It was bad. So anyways, I turned away at that point, and I lost it. And Jessica came over and held me for I don't know how long. And they put her down, and they didn't even get a fourth of the shot in, and she went. And Allie said it was peaceful. So that's the whole story. But the other thing I wanted to come and talk to you guys about was, and the part I'm most emotional about, is the afterwards. So that night was horrible. Obviously, I had to put her down. You're constantly going in your head, should have I left? Should have I stayed? And I posted right away because I knew people, you guys at Chalk Couture, they all knew she was sick. So everyone was coming up to us and saying, "How's your puppy? How's your puppy? How's your puppy?" I knew the next day on Saturday, like, I was like, I can't explain this. So I did post on there, she passed away and stuff. So the next day we woke up and went to a convention, and literally every single person came up and hugged us and said, "I don't want to make you sad, but oh my gosh, I'm sorry." Gave me all of the support. And then the comments started coming in, and I wanted to so bad on Saturday read people's comments, but I couldn't. I was completely, it was so hard. But I knew I had to post because you guys don't understand. If it wasn't for those 4 women at that time, actually 5, my niece was here too. I had Jasmine, who followed her gut and said to me, "Kenny, I don't know what's wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting, but you just need to see her." And was able to have a last conversation with my via FaceTime and say goodbye to her and call her my pretty girl. And she was still with it to the point where she knew it was us. And had she not done that, I wouldn't have had that. And it would have made the tragedy so much worse because I didn't get that. Because by the second time I talked to her, she wasn't there. So that was an amazing gift. I had my sister-in-law, Audra, and my niece, Alex, and Allie that literally dropped everything and raced over here and sat with her for 4 hours and petted her and called her a pretty girl and were there for her and just tried to comfort her and be with her. And they gave up everything for that. And then I have a, Allison that basically knows me inside and out and basically was telling me, "You've done this for my dog. I'm going to do this for her." And it was hard for her because she's known my since little puppy. And then I had Jessica at the Chalk Couture convention at 2:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning. We had to be up at like 6:30 the next morning. That just held me and reassured me that what we did was right. And said, she's up in heaven now running, and just kept giving me the words I needed to hear. Because sometimes I love Sean, but sometimes Sean goes a little bit more on the practical side. And, when I say, "Do you think she knew I was there?" Sean sometimes can be like, "Well, she probably didn't because, she's kind of doing stuff," where Jessica was like, "Nope, she knows." Like, regardless if it was true or not, I needed to hear it. And she told me that. So anyways, I had to post that. And once I posted that, I was doing okay. It was hard.
Very
tough, but it was people were coming up and hugging us and loving on us and stuff.
So much love there. It was amazing.
And everyone on my Facebook, comment after comment. And then we woke up on Sunday, and Sunday was my hardest day because it's my worst fear on going on vacations. Is I always say we have to say goodbye to the dogs and pet them and love them because you never know what will happen. And I know Sean thinks I'm dramatic. He says, "Oh my gosh, they're going to be fine and stuff," but you never know. And I woke up knowing that, like, I get on a plane, and to get through the plane, right, I sit there and think, nothing is better than coming home and your dog seeing you, because it gets so excited and stuff. And to know we were only coming home to 3 dogs instead of 4. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Well, it's not the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was hard knowing that, you know, even though I said goodbye to her and stuff, I still feel, I don't want to say guilty, but I still feel like I wanted to be here and I wanted to hold her and I wanted to pet her and I wanted to say goodbye to her and I wanted to be there when she went, because it's the last gift as an owner we can do. And I felt so horrible. So we did get home, or we got on the plane, and as soon as I got in, I started crying. Literally, I'm trying to get tissue so no one sees me, because I don't want people being like, oh, he's super scared of flying. That's what kept coming in. And the flight attendant brought me Kleenex. And then when she came around the next time, Sean said, I'm sorry, he's having a really hard time. Our dog died when we were on vacation. And we didn't get to say goodbye and stuff. And then the flight attendant said, same thing happened to her.
She said it happened to her. She was flying down to Cancun for work, and then she got the word, same thing. She says it is very, very hard to deal with that. So
he told her, and as I'm sitting there trying to keep my mind occupied and stuff, but every time I closed my eyes, you would think of Maya and, you know, her little quirks and everything. And while we were in the plane, the entire flight crew in Alaska came and gave me a card, and they all signed it, and they all said how our fur babies are our family, and that they were devastated that we lost her. And they gave us, of course, some chocolate, but they were all there in the aisle to let us know. There was a fellow chocolatier designer on that flight, and she came up and she goes, are you all right? And I just told her and stuff. So as soon as I got, so I can't say enough about Alaska Airlines. I cannot.
Fantastic.
They gave us hugs as we got off the plane and all sorts of stuff. So anyways, as we got off the plane, we got to Spokane, we got in the car. In the car, I just cried the entire time until we got home and Jasmine was here. And then we spent about an hour and a half with her because she was crying and said, she had said something that kind of said to me, she's never let go of a dog, but she said, you know, much in an animal, and the fact that she knew you and it was you and stuff. So we got home, and it was extremely hard to be home because normally the dogs freak out. They went outside and did their thing. But there was only 3 dogs, and Maya wasn't here. Usually Maya, you know, she had her little quirks about her, and she would, you know, go outside, and I gave her so much liberties. Like, she got to be outside by herself. She got to stay at home by herself. But she, you know, usually was with us. And it's stupid things that are giving me, you know, that was hard. And it was really hard just because it was that. But little things like, I'm the one that gives all the dog their treats. And so when we were at a dinner last night, she wasn't begging. Oh, and that broke my heart. But going to bed was really hard. Little bit night, and hers wasn't there. But I think the part that breaks my heart the most is Han is her son, and he's completely lost. He's not himself. He's not. Normally he's so happy and wants to see us, and he's completely lost. And Riley loved Maya. And as soon as she would see Maya every morning, she'd go and give him a million kisses and stuff. And like, they're not themselves. And it's breaking my heart because part of me really wanted to have Maya put down at her house so they could be part of that process and see that this dog had passed away and it's the final. And I know it's going to take them a while to be back to themselves, but it is heartbreaking coming home and not seeing her and everything. So anyways, the reason I wanted to tell you guys is you guys have been such a big support. I am floored, absolutely floored by the comments everyone's been writing and reaching out and private messaging us. And this is our first dog we've ever lost in a public forum like this, and it's night and day. People have been sharing their stories with me, how they've lost dogs and how it's impacted them. And it's just hard. Nothing's going to make it easier. I know we'll get there, but I really want to do this video to bring everyone in on what happened and stuff, because we do share so much with our dogs. The first few lives are going to be extremely hard, because when we would do lives, Maya would sit right on the other side of lives. She was the only dog that didn't have to go to the pen. And it was kind of her time to be with us and to not have the other dog. She was kind of, towards the end, because I'm sure she was in pain, she was kind of, she did what she wanted. She didn't have to go into the pen when we left. She got basically whatever she wanted. So these first few lives are going to be hard, but I really wanted to do this video because I know people will want to know, oh, what happened or stuff. And not that I didn't want to explain it to them, but in each video, if I'm explaining that, it's just hard, number one. But number two, it takes away from the video. And you know, like tomorrow I want to do a Chocolate new debut on the catalog and show you guys stuff. I have some other projects planned, and I didn't want to take away from that. So I really wanted to, you know, explain it, because now we're dealing with the other end of it, the financial end, which is always so hard when you lose an animal. And I mean, I think we're like 3,000 into it, trying to get her and save her and stuff, and not save her, but I would have paid $10,000 if it guaranteed me to come home on Sunday and be with her when she died. I would have paid anything for that. So I'm not saying that that's not worth the money. It's just hard because it's a reminder that they're no here, but we should get her tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah, we have all of our dogs cremated and put in a box with the frame in the front so that, you know, they're with us and stuff. So
and a nice little etched plaque.
An etched plaque. And we decided everything on our plaques, we always put something very sweet or cute. And on this one, I decided, so we would, her nickname was Missy Moo Moo. So we very rarely called her Maya. It was Missy Moo Moo and Who's Our Pretty Girl. So those were the two things. We try to always remember something about them that sticks with us. So Austin, our first dog, loved rubber duckies, and Tanner was a rescue. So we put that on the plaque. So on this one, it will say on the top, it will say Missy Moo Moo. So Missy Moo Moo will be in quotes, Maya. And then the second
gets me too.
The second one will say Forever Our Pretty Girl. So that way she knows that forever she'll always be she was our first dog. That was a girl, the first one that we had puppies. So it will say Forever Our Pretty Girl, and then it will have a picture of her. And the picture I'm going to use is the one my friend Allie took picking up her at the vet, because she has a big smile on her face because she didn't like the vet. So I'm sure that's what it was. And so we'll put that in there, and I'll probably post a photo of it and stuff. But I just really wanted to honor her with, you know, because she is our pretty girl, and she always was. And I wish I would have gotten in a tape. I looked through so many things, but the reason we did that wasn't just because we were like, you're a pretty girl. So I don't know why, but every time I would be like, who's our pretty girl? And then keep saying it, like, who's our pretty girl? She would start whining to the point where she was howling. She'd howl. She would just howl, and Han picked it up.
And then Han starts.
So now Han's thing is who's a handsome boy, and then he howls. Well, then they got to this point where it didn't matter if I was saying who's a handsome boy or who's a pretty girl. They would just start. So I can't even do that with Han right now because it's a little too close. But we would always say that, who's my pretty girl, and she would howl. So I think by putting that tribute on there, and people read that, they'll know that that's our pretty girl and stuff. So she will be really missed. Not only was she a great dog, but she was my one dog that lit up when kids were around. Like, literally lit up. And poor Jasmine. Jasmine was going to bring her son over and see if it raised her spirits. But she couldn't put him around that. But like, she literally lit up. And right before she died, Jasmine picked her up from the hospital one time. I guess a little girl walked by her, and she lit up for the little girl, wanted to be pet by her. Like, she loved kids and girls. Those were her two things. We obviously, me and Sean being boys, and I'm boys' dog. She was for the longest time the only girl. So anytime a girl would come over,
she goes crazy.
She never runs anywhere because she was a little chunky, so she never ran, but she would run up. And then just Allison told me that there was a lady at the vet office that came up to her and said, you know what? If I was an old lady and I went down without any gray, she didn't have one piece of gray hair anywhere on her. She was going to be 11 July 4th.
Mhm.
So for 11-year-old, she had no gray hair.
None.
2 funny stories I'll tell you about this whole thing. So the first one was when Allie picked him up, Mya, from the vet. And the vet said, she has this wrong and this wrong. And he goes, and of course she's obese. And I guess Allie said, don't fat shame my dog. Like, don't fat shame her. She doesn't need to deal with that. Like, she was like, the chubby side, and all of us came out and kind of attacked him. Like, don't you fat shame my dog type of thing, because calling her obese. But the other one was when she came in, because she took a turn so quick. The emergency vet said it was really hard because she had a dog, but they had said it's really nice to have had her around, because most people, when they're presented with, it's going to cost this much, I just wanted to pay it to see if she make it. So they don't get a lot of dogs that just sit around the emergency vet. Usually they're for traumatic reasons. They either get put down or they leave after the surgery. So she was there for almost 2 full days walking around with him, I guess, and just on IVs and very lovey and stuff like that. So when they came down to put him down, it was kind of hard on one lady that said, I have this exact same scenario with my dog and it's hitting me hard. And she was even crying too. So so she had no gray hair. But today I've done a ton of reflecting. That's the reason I'm doing this video for you guys. You guys are so sweet that are doing it.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Michael, Colleen, thank you so much.
So today I've done a lot of reflecting. And I honestly feel like the reason she left is she hurt us. That's what I'm going to believe in. I don't know if that's true. But as soon as we told her it was okay to let go, within
less than
3 hours, not even 3, maybe 2.
No, a little more than that.
A little
more than that.
I honestly,
not by much.
Yeah, it wasn't. I honestly feel like she was holding on to hear our voices. And it literally was the best gift ever, being able to say goodbye and to go and to be herself, and to literally after that she took a turn for the worse. But I cannot, today I reflected and said, she probably left because of that. She hurt us. She's not in pain anymore. Towards the end, she couldn't really, we had to lift up her hind, and hindsight is that basically her
hips, she had arthritis and hip dysplasia.
Yep. So, it was hard for her to walk around. I find comfort in the fact that, our second dog that died, she never really recovered. She was best friends with Tanner. And when Tanner instantly disappeared one day, she never recovered. So she's with him and stuff. But I honestly feel, whether you're religious or not, I'm not trying to get religious on people, but a part of me feels that my mom knew it was time, because I could not have been around better people during this entire process. I mean, Talk Couture executives were coming up and hugging us and saying, I'm so sorry you are going through this, and what do you need from us? And people that didn't even know us, it wasn't even like, can I get your picture? People were just like, I'm so sorry, and hugging us. And you just don't find that. Like, they took our minds off of it. And that night they got us to a point where we were dancing on the dance floor, even with this in our mind, because people were so, so good. And when I had a tough moment, people knew what was going on and they let me have that moment. But I honestly think that my mom put me there around amazing people, and having Jasmine and Allie and Audrey here, I knew that Mya didn't die alone, which I know a lot of dogs die alone. So she had people in the room heading her till the end and telling her she was a good girl. And thank you, Kathy, so much. So she had people there until the end with her. And the money issues, all of that stuff, that we can take care of that in time. I still wish I was here to be with her. I feel like maybe I wasn't strong enough to be with here. We've never had to put down a dog. Our first dog, we went to the vet office and he went into cardiac arrest. And our second dog was put down by the city, which was a whole other traumatic thing in its own. But we didn't make that decision.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tally's mom, Patricia, Sylvia, Barbara. Thank you. You guys are fantastic, everybody.
So I just feel like that maybe everything happened for a reason and I got there, but it's just, it'll be a hard couple of weeks till we get back into the swing because definitely there's things that are reminded or you miss, but I wanted to share it with you guys so you knew the story. Our dogs are so much part of our life and we show pictures and videos and I didn't want you guys to not know what happened, put somewhere. They're like, oh, what, show us Maya. And then we can't because we say, oh, she passed away. And then they feel guilty because that's, people feel, I don't want that. Right. So I wanted to share it with you guys and know, I know that there's a lot of animal lovers out there. And it's been apparent. I mean, we're talking, I think the post that I posted that Maya passed away, we got 305 comments, which
I thought it was closer to 400.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's been so loving. And I'm trying to keep busy and do stuff and things. So we'll have hard moments. We'll have good moments. Love your pets because you never know when they're gone. I hope no one ever has to do it. There was a guy there, Denver, right?
Denver, yeah.
And he came up to me. This is a big guy. I mean, he's
6'4",
6'4", muscle builder, just a big guy. And he came up to me and he kind of stumbled at his words. And I was like, what's the deal? And he literally could not say the sentence. He goes, he said, I know what you're going through. 2 days before convention, I had to put down my dog. And he couldn't get through it. He could not get through it. He was crying. I was crying. So, it affects everyone.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica. It's just, it is what it is. It's part of owning a dog. We know someday that we're gonna have to put him down. Yeah. This one was just a little harder because it happened while we were gone. Yeah. And regardless if that's good or bad. But I could not have done it without those amazing people. I could not, like I said, Jasmine, who gave me the gift of that final Facebook time with my dog to say goodbye and to call her a pretty girl over and over again. And to, even though I wasn't there, it was as close as I could get to being there. She had the camera literally right in front of her face. And just to see her light up and to see the sparks. And then, to just again, Allie and Audra for actually taking her in and doing that all. And to Jessica, who just, she was there through the whole thing. Yep. She sat there through the entire thing and talked to us and resubmitted, we were doing the right thing and checked in with me every second of the day and made me laugh, which I needed so much. I just needed someone to make me laugh. And that's what we try to do is make people laugh. And that's just, I guess, who we are. We don't try to make people laugh. It just happens. And
it just happens.
It's yeah.
Thank you, Grizel.
Yeah. So I cannot, yes. She's my brother from another mother, and she's my sister from another mister. That's what we say. Yeah. So I have amazing people around me. I have amazing support from all of you guys. We are not looking at getting another dog anytime soon or replacing him because you can't replace dogs. They're all a little different. Yep. But we are, we're already preparing. Toby's 11. So soon for 12, Golden, actually. He'll soon be 12 in November. So we're preparing for that too.
Thank you, Brian.
So perfect. Thank you for taking care of that, Crafting and Stamping. So thank you very much. Please feel free to check in on us and honor Maya too.
M Popes. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, MP. We'll just call it MP. Thank you very much.
Yes, and and for all the blessings, because it's been, I don't know, what do you want to say? I've talked this whole time because that's what I do when I get nervous.
First and foremost, thank you from definitely at the bottom of our hearts on each and every one of you that has either gave us the hug, the text, all of you here in this very room on your love, your compassion, and everything about what we just went through. I have been sitting here reading as much as I can see, and there's been quite a few other people who have gone through the same thing. So all of you truly know, whether it be a dog, a cat, or any other type of animal that has happened, it is tough. And the worst is probably not being there. Is probably our hardest thing.
Yeah.
And I thank you so very, very much. All of you that have done the super chats, thank you. That is just more than you need to do, but thank you so much for everything.
It's very sweet because when we start crying over Maya, they get very clingy towards us. They won't leave our side. They know. They have to know something's going on because they don't leave our side. They don't want to go anywhere. So it's hard to look at Han because he looks so much like his mom. It's I look at him. There's days when I look at him and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just your mom's pup. So it is very hard, but they know something's up. Sorry, I totally interrupted your speech. I apologize.
No, that's fine. It's just that everybody has been so loving. Again, when we were at the convention, so many people. It was amazing how many people, first of all, watch and listen to everything that we do. It was quite amazing, and they were just so compassionate about everything. And I thank you guys for all of those well wishes and whatnot.
Yes. So anyways, that is what's going on. That is what happened. I can't stress enough everyone. That was so amazing. I cannot stress enough Alaska Airlines, like that.
That was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All the dogs, people have lost a dog. I totally, know what I go through. These two are having a hard time. I think Toby is okay. I don't know. Maybe he's so
just
old.
A crotchety old
like nothing's really changed in Toby's world.
No.
But these two definitely, they're staying close to each other. So she's very kissy all of a sudden over everything. So she, it's really affected these two. These are the two that it's hit the hardest. So that's what's going on. And I just had to share it with you guys so you knew, and talking through stuff, it makes me better and stuff like that.
We still think and talk about Austin.
You never forget your dogs.
No,
you never. Yeah, so it's our tribe is a little smaller. Yeah. One.
Mona, you're right. He is a grumpy old man.
Who?
Mona said that. Toby's a grumpy old man.
He is.
He is.
He's a grumpy dog.
He's going to get to the point where when we try to tell him it's time to go night-night and go upstairs, he's not having it. And it's going to be the point where he's just, you know what? I'm staying here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay. I'm not coming.
And he's for sure, he always sits on me and he's my dog stuff. So I told him he has to live till 20.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see who just said it. You need to create a board. Cheryl, we actually have we have the shelving unit that's back there behind us, and each shelf level has everything, pictures and stuff about that dog. She's the only one here. She's the one that doesn't have anything quite yet, but we definitely have something over there. We just might have to do a little more for Maya on that side. Yeah. Yep. And we still have a lot of the owners that have Maya's pups that have reached out to us and stuff. So it is hard, but like I've said many times, the last thing you can do as a pet owner is know when it's time to make sure that they're not in pain. And for sure, towards the end, she was starting to be in pain. And that's when we decided we needed to. Nobody needs to be in pain. Nobody needs to be in pain. Yeah. So that's my big thing. So I think even if we did something, I think there would still be pain there. Yeah, we made the decision before we even, before she was put down. I told Sean that I didn't want to do chemo. I didn't want to remove her spleen. I said she's almost 11. And at that point, we were going to spend money to keep her alive for us. We didn't want to say goodbye to her. And that's not fair to her because I could tell towards the end, it was so hard for her to even not walk. She was fine when she was up. It was hard just to push herself up and stuff. So it was the right decision. It doesn't make it any easier, but it definitely was the right decision. It was a timing thing. It was hard and stuff like that and stuff. Do you have anything else? I don't think so other than this. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Riley. So now we have to see if we ever want to have puppies with you. Do you want to be a mama? Yeah.
she's very clean right now.
Very clean.
This is where she wants to be at all times. So she's taking it pretty hard, this one. So she doesn't want to be anywhere
Thank
except
you,
for in her
George.
laps and stuff like that and stuff. So anyways, thank you guys very much for the support, the love. I do plan on being live tomorrow. I have so much fun stuff to show you guys.
Yep.
The Chocolate Tour convention was crazy, what's coming in new and stuff, and just getting on videos and everything like that. So unless anyone has any questions, I don't know how long I'll keep this video up. Might be a while, might not, just because I know it's a hard video. I know people that have lost dogs that are watching this are probably reliving theirs, and I'm sorry, it wasn't my intention of the video. Do you see my new Chocolate Tour polo?
Yeah, I have one too upstairs.
So pretty. Yeah. So we will be tomorrow around, we should be live around 4-ish, right? And stuff. So we're gonna relax tonight and get in our good mode, and we'll be back tomorrow to do a huge reveal and why you should join Chocolate Tour now, because
it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I'm telling you what, there was nothing like being at a convention with a whole bunch of people that, I mean, women are yelling. They're like, ah, and stuff. And every Chocolate Tour person came and they're like, so Ken, you like the new collection? I was like, how do you know? And they're like, that's all we could hear was you. Because I was at the front table, I guess.
Yes, front table.
And the people behind, every time they'd put something on the screen, I'd say, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. That's amazing. Like, I lost my voice. It was crazy. Like, so much energy in that room and stuff like that. So anyways, I can't wait to share that with you. I was going to share it tonight, but I wanted to share this instead from the bottom of my heart. I adore all of you guys. Yes, thank you, Alaska Airlines. And so anyways, we will be back tomorrow at 4, I said, right around 4. So see us then. And until then, thank you so much.
Thank you very
I
much.
adore all of you. You are all amazing. And please, for everyone that donated money, you did not have to do that.
But
it's very nice. It's so nice of you and stuff like that.
Put it towards a memorial, I guess.
Yes. So we gotta just do more, and we'll pay off that quick and all that good stuff. But so
love you all.
Thank you guys so much. I love you, crew. You are the best. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye. I got dog hair all over me. I got dog hair. Nikki.